Full time at Old Trafford, Manchester United 3, Fulham 2, in a game that perfectly emulates this entire season, which is United play a good 75 minutes. Uncle Cass comes off the pitch. Fulham magically get back into the game with 2 goals that we essentially gifted them with the penalty. And then, of course, everyone scores a worldie against us. So Kevin gets his worldie. But the main difference, and this is what has been, is the magic under Carrick, where Bruno makes a Bruno play and Sesko, who hasn't seen the pitch, finds the back of the net in extra time. Here are my 5 things. Let's just jump in at number 1, because this guy's importance and the heightened importance on this position, which makes makes me a little angry that they didn't do any business in January here just to find some form of replacement, or at least some guy who could do this role that's not Ugarte, is Uncle Cass won United this game. Point blank period, he's the man of the match. He came off in the 75th. We should have been able to see the match out, but we legit couldn't. And that hug that he had with Cunha at the very end of the game when Sesko scored was like a sigh of relief. It's not surprising to me that Casemiro, with all the pedigree that he has, is able to lift United in certain aspects. I didn't think he could do it to this extent. Whatever your original thoughts on Casemiro post that first season, he's totally flipped the script. 1 match a week, Casemiro might be one of the best defensive mids in the league. And his legs aren't there. That's the talent of this individual, and that's why he's going to go down as one of the all-time greats in that position. Today, the goal, which didn't know that he had that in his locker before coming to United, and then that assist, the no-look to Cunha, that's sauce. Nobody told me, coming from Real Madrid, that he had that in his bag, and he's playing with some freedom knowing that his time is close to up here. So that's lesson number 1. Now, lesson number 2, I'm going to go with his Brazilian counterpart. Matheus Cunha was directly involved in 2 of the goals, the first 2 goals. He wins the free kick, almost penalty, that leads to the first goal, and then he scores just a roofer on that second goal. I texted in one of the threads with a couple of my buddies that I thought his first touch was awful today, and it was. But this caliber of player, when you get the ball at his feet in certain positions, he can make magic happen. And for Mbeumo, it wasn't coming off today. Ahmed got a little unlucky. Cunha had the thing today. And I think the question was, how do United evolve with Dorgu being out, and how do they play when they're going to have more possession? Guys like Cunha make stuff happen. The forward line was just super fluid as well. I think you can kind of compact that into this topic, is both of his goals came off the right, and he was a left winger today. I think there is some issues there, just with the idea that Luke Shaw can't overlap like that. I think that's asking a lot of him on his legs at his current stature of his career. But they made it work today, and that was just kind of pulling the strings. They're just so fluid. It reminds me a lot of those Liverpool teams with Firmino at the 9 when you have Mbeumo up there, because it's just a fluid front 3, and they're just combining and making shit happen. But Cunha, this guy's just got United-coded DNA. Every time after the surf, too, he's immediately hitting the badge. You can tell that he loves this team. He loves this club. And that's why he's lesson number 2, is because I'm just thoroughly impressed with him as an individual. And now, let's jump into number 3, which is United need more composure. There's no reason why in the 75th minute, Casemiro and Cunha come off, and we just totally fall apart. And it wasn't right away, too. I mean, they had the free kick thing, and they had chances to make it equal, but Dalot's just not totally locked in. Maguire's not totally locked in. Bad tackle. Lehman's actually made the save. Maguire didn't need to do that. It just felt like there's a level of angst within them, which I'll talk about at the end, but there's a level of angst that they just kind of play with when they go up by 2 goals, especially at home. And when that momentum switches, their default setting still, even with Carrick, is a little defensive, and I'd like it not to be. And I was telling Grant this, which we'll talk about probably more on the pod, is just when United take leads in these matches, especially by 2 goals, because they're going to be able to score goals in bunches. I mean, they've done it 3 straight games here with 2 or more goals. They have to be able to take the ball and just hold it for a little bit and kill out games, because they could have done that in this one. But there were multiple times where they pushed forward, and I saw Bruno do it a couple times where he played the ball backwards, but I want to see it more often. And let's be honest, I don't need you. A third kills the game, sure, but we should absolutely be able to come out of this match with a 2-0 win, a clean sheet at home. They had nothing until they have something. And that's the issue, is they shouldn't have been able to get something in this match. And there's one player in particular that I think does this better than anybody else on the team, and they need to be looking at the film and being like, everyone's got to follow this one player. And I don't have a point for him in this one. I don't have a lesson for him, but I think he's done this throughout Carrick's tenure and coming back from AFCON, and that's Ahmad. This guy is working his socks off. I don't think United win this game without him today. His ability to just take the ball and just take the air out of the match for 2 seconds is so important. We were giving Cunha credit for this, for getting the team out. Ahmad has the ability to get the team in shape, and that's where United can start to evolve their game by pressing in on teams instead of it just being this kind of like crazy, free-flowing, take the shackles off approach. I think that they could take a lesson from Ahmad and just play a little simpler sometimes and relax, and they'll be able to see out matches. But that's lesson number 3. Lesson number 4. Earlier this week, it marked the 6-year point since Bruno Fernandes has joined Manchester United. And you're not going to see a bigger Bruno Fernandes fan than me. I genuinely think that he's the best midfielder in the world. I know I keep saying Premier League, but I'm gonna escalate it to world, because there's nobody in the world that's doing this stuff. There's not. He's got 12 assists in the league this season, with I think it's 14 games left to play, something like that. The record's 20, and at this rate, he will hit that. And it's not that he's just getting assists, because that's one thing. But when you're the captain of Manchester United, you are asked to hold a certain weight. And when results don't go your way, you're the first person that gets blamed. This match, United could have had a reset period here, where all the good that they did in the first 2 matches, all the good that was done in the 75 minutes before Casemiro came off, all could have been unwritten. Like that. Like that. But right after a worldie from a team, which usually is so deflating that you are now under the pressure for the rest of the game, Bruno Fernandes, with one of the most technically gifted, he does that move, which I don't know how it gets everybody, but it does. It's just a simple body feint, and then he turns, and he's gone. He cooked Calvin Bassey. Totally destroyed their structure with one little body feint. It was and then he was gone. It's like a jab step in basketball. It's the most effective move I think I've ever seen. He does it once, he's gone, and he plays the ball behind Sesko, and Sesko riles it home. But United don't have this attacking output. They don't have the best attacking threats in the league if Bruno Fernandes is not a part of it. And to celebrate that 6-year mark of his United tenure, and I hope it's far, far longer than that. I hope he's here until he retires. That's how much I love this guy, and I think that he is enrooted in United culture. He's a different plant. He walks into every single team on planet Earth. I think he walks into every single team on planet Earth. And I'm tired of debating it. I don't know what more people need to see. You play him in the 8, he does the job. You play him in the 10, he's the best 10 in the world. What more do you want, people? This guy just produces, and he's done it every single year. 12 assists in the league this season. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I'll leave it there. Thank you, Bruno. Congratulations on 6 years. Congratulations on the 3 points. I love you. I love you. Anyways, lesson number 5. I want to call it mentality, but I'm not. I'm going to give this point to Benjamin Sesko and his mentality. Before Carrick came in, he had scored 3 goals in 2 matches. He got his ass sat in the next 2. He got his ass sat in the next 3. After scoring 3 goals in 2 games as a striker. What more could you ask for? Well, you ask for him to stay locked in. You ask him to understand the assignment. You speak about him well in the press. And then when the moment comes, which he got unlucky to not have 2 goals today, but when the moment comes, he buries the shot. No look goal, top right corner, into the Stretford. You know what I mean? Those are the moments that we live for as United fans. Is your freak of nature striker getting the ball at the penalty spot and rifling it home in the 94th after your team has just totally screwed the pooch. Fergie time. United DNA. Benjamin Sesko, on top of all that stuff, was so locked in for his entire tenure of the... He was locked in for the entire 15, 20-minute cameo that he got. He came in, picked up the ball, he made the right plays, and he's the reason, with Bruno Fernandes, that United come away with 3 points at the very end of the match. For a guy that was not playing. I don't think I can state that. He scored 3 goals in 2 games, was benched for the next 3 under a new manager, his third with his time at United now, comes in at the biggest moment in a time where United needed a goal more than ever, and buries it. And then we got the jump man into the Trafford end in a lunacy type of thing. There's only certain teams that can give you that like lift and that, oh my fucking God, this is the best feeling ever. And that's Manchester United. So those are my 5 things. Because this club will make you fall in love every single time. It'll also drag you down to earth every single time. And then somewhere sprinkled in everything is just a tad bit of magic every single time with Manchester United. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Manchester United 3, Fulham 2. Those were my 5 things. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on just the game in general. Or if you have a different point that you want to bring up. Do you want to talk about the structure and all that stuff? Sure. Put it in the comments. Or if you want to say, why the fuck was this even a game? It shouldn't have been. We were up 2-0 in the 75th. By all means, rant about it in the comments. But I'm done talking. So be sure, if you are still here, to go and hit the like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. C.O.C. Network, we're dropping stuff every single day. If you're an American, we've got a total podcast on the LA Galaxy and the MLS as a whole. So you can find stuff there if you're an American. Or if you are from Britain or the UK or any part of Europe or in general the world and you like the Premier League stuff, I post about Manchester United. Mila posts about Manchester City. Grant does Chelsea. And together we have an awesome podcast where every Sunday or every Monday we post a pod where we break it all down for you and all the big games. But I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.